Hello traders, this is McBillion. Today is March 6, 2016 and let's talk about the market. Let's start with the spider. I wanted to show you the volume on the spider for the last 20 days, and you can see here it has been down below the 50 simple moving average many days. So all this bounce right here at Fibonacci 182 has been with very low volume, and that's why I'm very skeptical to jump long in here below the 200 moving average. When the spider crosses the 200 moving average, then we're talking about something else, because then volume will raise and we can go long in many trades. So that's what I'm waiting for, the 200 moving average, which is also the Fibonacci 203. So that's my take. When you see low volume on the spider and you think it's racing and it looks good, the same way it goes up like that, it will go double the speed when it goes down, because there is no volume, and as soon as it shows some weakness, it will drop like a stone. So that's why I keep my puts, not because I think it's gonna return some profits, but because I want some premium back and we still have some time. So that's my take on the spider. I'm going to be watching the 200 moving average or Fibonacci 203. If the bulls break that, I'm sure this thing is gonna move higher and higher, and we need to be ready. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Apple. Apple right now looks bullish right here. ADX is strong, but it's a Fibonacci 103. If the spider or the S&P fail at the 200 moving average, it will take Apple down like a stone back to 95. So that's what I'm still holding some puts on the Apple. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about BABA. BABA, as you can see here, this trend line is still intact. Until the bulls break out this line right here, then you will have to get long. But right now it's still bearish. So I'm waiting for this line. It's a very easy trade. If you break out this line, we're gonna go long. But also keep in mind that if you fail, it's gonna go down again. So now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about CAT. I mentioned this one last week or 2 weeks ago, and I say if you break out this trend line, go long. And we were talking about 66, 67, and it went almost to 74. So that was a nice trade. Many of you took that one. So I think it's gonna go to 78, which is the next Fibonacci resistance. But of course, it will need the S&P breaking the 200 moving average. Now let's talk about Disney. Disney, as you can see here, break out the 50 simple moving average. It looks bullish, but I wanted to wait until the market confirmed the 200 moving average on the spider or the S&P. So that's my take, and this one is on my watch list to go long, because this one will be very strong once the S&P breaks the 200 moving average. Now let's talk about Facebook, another one that is very strong. It break out the 108. It's trending inside this channel. I think it might go to 125 with the spider moving about the 200. Gold, you see here, it break out right here, the Fibonacci 114 is moving sideways here a little bit for 2 days, but I think it will continue. But of course, if the stocks start moving up with the S&P, it's gonna be more attractive than to be on gold, and we're probably gonna go down back to 114. So at that level, I will be willing to go long. If it goes to 140, get long, because it will bounce nicely and continue up. But right here, I don't want to enter long. I just want to wait for an opportunity. But it looks bullish. IWM, this is the iShares results. As you can see here, it break out the 50 simple moving average. There's a lot of resistance right here. You see this trend line resistance? But it looks bullish. But again, I wanted to see if we break out these numbers right here for me to go long, because right here on this bounce with no volume, I'm very skeptical. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Netflix. Let's see Netflix. So Netflix is another one that I have on my watch list to go long. Disney, Netflix, CAT. So those are the ones that you have to put in your watch list. But like I say, I'm looking at the S&P. Right here, we break out the 50. If it confirms tomorrow about Friday's high, this thing can fly very nicely. If not, it will be a fail out and it can go down, or just test the 99 and bounce. So I will see that because Friday has a lot of volume. I like the volume Friday, and it looks bullish. Now let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Tesla. Tesla right here. You see this trend line? That's the money line. Why? Because if you break out this little money line, this thing will fly. But also it's a lot of resistance. 1, 2, 3. If it goes there around the Fibonacci 222, it can fail very bad and go back to 150. So keep an eye on this number 222, which is the trend line resistance and the Fibonacci resistance. So keep an eye on that one. This is another one that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. This is Win Resorts, and I mentioned this box right here. It break out the box around 77. I say go long about that level. Many of you took that trade and make a lot of money on this trade. I think it's gonna go to 93 before it finally decide to move sideways or to pull back a little bit. For now, if you didn't take it, it's too late because it went from 77 to 88, so it's 11 points. So I will wait for a pullback to enter. Probably if you pull back a little bit around 79 or 78 and continue up, that will be my trade to buy cheaper. So when you see a stock that break out and you didn't get it, don't try to get it after it makes a more than 5% move, because you're gonna get killed. Usually people are gonna start to take profits and you can get stuck with a bad trade. Traders, if you wanted to sit down with me for a course class, if you wanted to show me your charts, if you want me to ask me questions, just send me an email, send me a text, send me a message. I'm always available every day after 9 p.m. But I want you to tell me if you want to take this course with me, if you wanted to continue learning, or if you have questions, because I cannot go for you. You have to look for me. So that's something I want to tell you, because I love to sit down with people and help them. So this is everything for today. Trade on.